G'day, guys, and welcome to the 50th episode of Comics to Movies and More. If you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button and click that notify bell so we go live each Sunday night at 10 p.m. I've got a little bit of a croaky voice because I have been at Oz Comic Con all weekend. I've had an absolute amazing time. We're going to be talking about The Empire Strikes Back. That was my choice. Yes, it was. We're going to be talking about Comics to Movies in 2021, the year that was, which has been amazing. And of course, we are going to celebrate, 50 episodes of Comics to Movies and More. But Stephen, how are you tonight, mate?
I'm good. I'm really good. Oh, look, I'm reading some of the comments that are starting to come through. And look, thank you guys. And look, the chat makes this a lot of fun. And you guys tuning in, week out. And it's just amazing. And the great thing about what I like about the chat as well is we don't know half the stuff we're talking about. So we usually throw a question out there. And one of you guys comes back with the answer. I love that. It's absolutely fantastic. And look, big thank you to you guys because, it's 50. You guys are still here. I love it. Thank you so much. Really, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I enjoy it. I did see Sazagals had the first comment saying, "Hi everyone, happy 50th episode." But I was speaking to her today at the show at the Melbourne Oz Comic Con, and she was like, you need to lay off Stephen and everything like that. So I'm like, I can't get away. I can't get away from it. So
yes,
thanks,
yeah.
But I was saying we still haven't done that little Stephen rant video that we were.
Look, last week, I don't know if you know. Again, for people outside of Australia, it's actually really good. They actually ran a Sydney-based convention, which I turned up to, and the Melbourne-based convention, which Shaun turned up to. So it's actually really good that things are starting to reopen up quite a bit. And look, I think it's. I think 2022 things will slowly get back to normal. Fingers crossed. But that's what we hope for.
We didn't plan that.
No, but it's worked out really well. So no, I didn't get around to doing the rant video, but I did promise, and it will be done by the end of this year. So I
find it hilarious because this week I think it's the most rants I've had off you. You're like, can I call you just to give you a 2-minute rant? And I'm like, okay, I want to play the video in the background when you call me so I can just be like, hang on a second.
Oh man, there's quite I don't know how much we can actually share because there is, and I'm not trying to be a tease. So guys listening to this, I'm really not trying to be a tease. But I've recently signed a couple of NDAs, and Shaun's aware of a couple of things in the background that we're really hoping for 2022. It will all fit into place. It's really, really exciting stuff. And I can't tell you, and I'm sorry to be a tease, but I'm really hoping within the next couple of weeks, we can tell you guys what's happening.
I love that. You start that going, I'm not a tease. No, it's totally a tease. Totally a tease. But let's say...
You know what's happening as well. So,
well, I do, but I didn't say, I'm going to tease you with it. But let's say hello to the chat. We've got Moira here. Good morning or good afternoon there, Moira. How are we going? Grace, we might have to get Grace on at one stage moving forward as well. So, Mandeep, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. Shaun choosing a Star Wars movie is such a huge surprise. Yep, it's my favorite Star Wars movie. Actually, it was really hard to choose because I knew I was going to choose a Star Wars one, and I was going to go something controversial like Revenge of the Sith, and I was like, no, I want to talk about Empire Strikes Back.
A happy one,
which is great. So. Jackie, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. Yes, I'll always be nice to Stephen. My wife is even now on the Stephen bandwagon. Like, whenever he calls me, she's like, is he okay? I'm like, hang on a sec. I'm like, okay? Like, yeah. So, yes. Gary, mate, thank you very much. Congratulations on 50 shows. And JK Inc., thank you very much. So, well, before we get into the movie, we reached out to a couple of people that have either been on the show or watched the show, and they were nice enough to send us a little message.
It's Oliver here from the Awakened comic book series. I just wanted to congratulate my man Shaun on his 50th episode of Comics to Movies. Amazing stuff, man. I can't wait to see more. I love this show and I love what you're doing. Congratulations.
Hey Shaun and the Comics to Movie crowd. Congratulations on 50 episodes. I look forward to being on there again soon. Cheers.
Hey guys, Lauren Marshall here. Comics to Movies and more. Congratulations on 50 episodes. It's a huge achievement and thank you so much for giving back to the comic community, and here's to 50 more. Congrats!
Congratulations Shaun and Stephen on reaching your 50th show. They've been great fun, the best way to start a Sunday morning, and I can't wait for the next 50.
How good is that?
I know. And look, and thank you. I know Comics to Movies is your baby, and it is yours, and it's really nice for you to bring me along for the ride. So look, I do appreciate it, and thank you. Look, it's been a really fun ride for me, so I really appreciate you letting me play around with your banner, really.
Well, man, I feel like you're part of Comics to Movies. You're more family than you are a friend or a co-host. So no, super happy to have you along for the ride, especially when you looked after the show when I was off for some time. So that was amazing. So yeah,
I give full credit because I remember going, oh my god, I pressed the wrong button. My scariest thing was, and you know how the StreamYard works, that if I shut the StreamYard down, it actually doesn't shut down the stream, because as long as somebody's in it. My biggest fear was I actually shut the stream down. It didn't happen, thank God. It did not happen. I made a lot of other mistakes, but the stream never shut down.
No, or you didn't leave a guest live while you exited. But I have to say, talking about Oz Comic Con, I did a post the other day in regards to, what we've been doing as both Comics to Movies and you and I as creators. And this was the first show that I decided just to do my comics without any sort of prints or anything. There's one print on the table, but it's based on my character. No fan art and everything like that. So this was the new setup, which I absolutely love. Thank you very much to Brad Van Geest, who designed up the banner, and then that's a tablecloth that's there as well. So it's a fitted tablecloth that's got all of the branding logo around it as well. So I'm super excited to kind of just do a show based around everything that we've created over the last 24 months, which has been like, when I actually took a photo of it, I didn't realize how much we've actually kind of created. But it was really cool when someone would come up and they're like, "Oh, I actually listened to your show on Sunday nights," and I was like, "Oh, what?" They're like, "Oh, yeah, we haven't commented or anything, but I pop in and listen sometimes, and then I'll watch it back later during the week." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of really cool." So to know that we've got a few people out there enjoying what we're doing and taking something out of it is pretty amazing.
I've got to say, you need to give lessons on table setups, because for people who don't know, I don't do cons very often. It's probably just not me. I need to get better at it, and something I do need to improve on. But
should I show them the photo you sent me?
No, please don't. Please don't. Because when you show how amazing your table looks and you see how my table looks, it's totally different. So I actually spend most of my time actually walking around talking to people rather than staying at my table. So I actually had really, really good fun. It was really good. Like I met Jackie for the first time. So Jackie from the chat, I actually met him for the first time. was great to meet all these different people. But yeah, look, I need tips. So please don't show my table because it looks horrible compared to yours. But I'll improve next time.
Well, what we'll do is we've done like a few Kickstarter tips and everything. Maybe I'll do a quick starter video in regards
Definitely.
to table setups and what happens after Kickstarter. So what you can do with your books and everything like that. So I'll put that in the memory bank and do that next time.
Just write
we've got JK Inc. looked outstanding at the show. Was great to stop by and chat. Yes. It was amazing. It was like everyone was just happy to be out. It was like it was such a great atmosphere and everything. So Mandeep said hopefully he can bring that set up to the UK soon. If I go over, I'm bringing Stephen with me. It's a 2-man show if we're going to go all the way over there. So Moira, we're redoing our website, so there's a little bit of information that I haven't let anyone know. Stephen does know this, but we're redoing our website. So when our website is redone and focuses more around the publishing and the direction Comics to Movies is going, I'll definitely get you guys to kind of submit our details to different shows, and we'll see if we can kind of get across and see what we can do for you guys. So I love this one. Where's your beer, Stephen?
Grace, I am a lightweight. I am an absolute lightweight with alcohol. I don't turn. There's an Asian gene where most Asian people will actually turn really bright red. I don't turn that bright red, but it'll be very embarrassing. So, I avoid it. I avoid getting drunk in public, Grace. And this is as public as you get. Not only is it as public as you get, it's stored forever. So
yeah, and it's live, so you can't take anything back. So, but I like to live dangerously. So, yeah. Spectres and the Machines has dropped in saying congratulations on all the outstanding work, awesome channel, guys, and congrats on 50 shows. So, thank you so much, guys. But let me pull up our movie for tonight. So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, Empire Strikes Back is probably the Star Wars movie that had the biggest effect on me. I reckon I was probably about 5 or 6 when I first watched it. And spoiler alert, when you find out that Darth Vader is Luke's father, that just kind of like as a kid just blew my mind, type of thing, going like this pure evil character could be the father of the person that's going to supposedly save the galaxy and everything. But at that point I hadn't seen Return of the Jedi yet, but it was such a different film to Star Wars, the original A New Hope, because it was a little bit more darker. It was a little bit more grittier. You kind of they always seem to be in trouble, like they kind of were struggling to get out of the trouble. And then lines, there's the best one-liners I feel like out of all the films were in this one, and a lot of those later I found out happened to be not scripted, that they actually had just done it off the cuff. And the biggest one there is where Leia says to Han, "I love you," and he says, "I know." He was actually supposed to say, "I love you too," but Harrison Ford was like, "Oh, Han Solo wouldn't say that. He just says, I know," which has become an absolute classic line. So, also when you talk about films and storytelling, and this is a story arc, this is such a great second film. There's not a lot of films that come after the original where you're like, wow, that blew me away actually more than the original. Return of the Jedi was a lot of fun, but this one I feel like not only is a great film, but really stands the test of time. I know I've got the special edition image up here, and you know I don't mind some of the edits they've gone back and done, but really this film kind of stands up the test of time. We've spoken about this before, Stephen, that mixture of animation and CGI. You know, if you can get that kind of blend done really well, then it kind of lasts much longer than just pure CGI or just pure models and stuff.
Yep. Oh, look, and going back, I think a couple of steps back to where you said about classic lines. Look, the classic Darth Vader line is in this one. The classic Han Solo lines in this one. Also, the classic Yoda line is in this one. My favorite Yoda quote, and I've used it lots of times. Do or do not. There is no try. Like, when I was at work, basically, that's if anybody ever says, "Oh, can you do that for me?" "Oh, I can try to." You just throw that line out. So it's got the best Yoda quote in it. So the other thing which I really liked about it is the bad guys win. And it's really refreshing to see. And this is back in, I think, 1980s or something, if I remember, 1980, if I remember when it came out.
Yeah.
It's really refreshing to see that because nobody expected that. And in terms of story writing, and I've actually taken quite a few notes from this. Like when I do a lot of graphic novels, because when you do your first graphic novel, you try to make it as self-contained as possible because you never know if you're getting the second one done, and that's what a lot of storytellers now do. But if you get to the second one, it's always fun to leave the second book on a cliffhanger because if they like the first one enough to do a second one, odds is they'll get the third one done. So a lot of even the sequel trilogies followed again the same beats. I think it's really set the bar for a lot of movies as well in terms of how to set up the trilogy. So no, I love it. It's absolutely one of my favorite Star Wars. I still like the first one because it's a lot more optimistic, but this is like a very, very close second. And I would really have to say it's on this show that would happen, but Shaun's been disconnected. So I'm hoping he comes back in. Otherwise, it'll be just me ranting on about Empire Strikes Back. I did not kick him out, in case anybody's wondering. I did not kick him out. Hopefully, he'll jump back in very soon. Saying that, though, we'll keep going on to times where the sequel actually works better than the original. So, again, talking about Alien to Aliens, Terminator, and it had to happen, didn't it?
Yeah, always.
I didn't kick this one. In case anybody wondering, I didn't kick this one. No, but I was going to say a lot of tonal shifts were in this one, like Alien to Aliens, Terminator to Terminator 2. There were big tonal shift and tonal changes. Star Wars, New Hope to Empire, that's a huge tonal shift. In the first one, very optimistic, very, hey, look, we can win. There's a huge ceremony in the end. Everybody except Chewie gets a medal. It's
against all odds. It's against like that whole against all odds you can succeed. So I think going into that second one, that was just the expectation everyone had thought. But like I also picked this one because like I like it when the bad guy wins, and I didn't realize where I got it from until I kind of went back and watched this for the 100th time, and I was like, this is the film that makes me wants the good guy to lose all the time because as much as life is great, it doesn't always necessarily go to plan. And, I like to entertain people and I like to tell great stories. But at the same time, I also like the sometimes being a bit more realistic and having that end where, or they're all beaten and trodden. Yes, they got away, but they're absolutely down at their bottom now after, winning so well in the first film I just absolutely absolutely love this. I could watch this one like once a week. Like that's how much I love this. But when I start quoting the movie as it's playing, my wife is like, no, no, turn it off now. So
No, have you seen the special edition of this one? The one where the remake of this one. I think um, the minor change, right? You know, Cloud City had the windows. They actually
yeah,
CG'd in the back. So have you seen that version or?
yeah, that's this one, the special edition version.
Okay. So
Yeah, yeah.
you've seen the what's your take on that? Did you prefer it just almost all practical without the CG there, or did you like that little addition of the CGs?
I actually liked the additional of the CGs, especially as they're coming into Cloud City, how they've fixed up the speeder bikes that are
Yeah.
coming in with them, the cloud bikes that are coming in with them, and also at the end where the Millennium Falcon is taken off, they've fixed up the light at the back of the Millennium Falcon and everything, but. Like as a kid, you know, I remember having them in VHS in the 80s, and then the special edition in the 90s, and then the DVD edition in the late 90s, and then the special digital edition in the early 2000s, and then now the Blu-ray. The only ones I don't have now are the 4K. So I've got kind of every iteration that's ever been out type of thing. So
I did like it, and again, if I'm wrong, the chat will correct me or you'll correct me. But I know there's a lot of controversy around Greedo, where they tried to change part of the story. I don't think in Empire, George Lucas actually changed any of the plot elements, did he? Or I think they just added stuff. They didn't actually go and make someone shoot first, you know.
yeah, well, Mandeep's not welcome back. We're putting that out there, mate.
Oh no, we
It was
love
nice
Mandeep.
knowing you, but
No, but it's correct. It's a cliffhanger. It's like the Infinity Wars to Endgame. It's still by itself. It's still worth watching. Like that's
yeah.
why.
Yeah, but it is a trilogy. It's not a film in its like as much as I can myself watch it by itself. That's because I know the beginning and the end, but it's not like something that you would just give someone and go, "Oh, just watch this film out of all the Star Wars ones and you'll get the entire series." That's kind of not the case. But yeah, it's still my favorite one. And everything, like, you know, and then Bubba Fett's in it as well. And, you know, I finally got to watch the Under the Helmet episode on Disney Plus, and that was really interesting, you know, talking about how they designed that character. Like it was supposed to be all white to begin with, like a stormtrooper, and how they were like, oh no, that's kind of not what we want. We want him to be a bounty hunter and all of that. And he's like, oh well, you know, when he comes on to set, you know, you want to know that he's on set. So can we do like those spur sounds like in a Western and that, where it's like, and it was something that I like subconsciously had not really thought about. So when I went and watched it this week, I was like, oh man, I didn't realize that when he's walking there, like each time he steps, it is that ching, 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 like of the spurs type of thing. So yeah,
I never realized that because Mandalorian really played the other TV series, really played that up, the whole Western feel to it. Like, speaking of which, the latest Book of Boba Fett, the trailer's dropped. Have you had a chance to see that one yet?
Yes, absolutely. That, but the thing that blew me away more than that was there was a game expo in the US. No one expected a Star Wars game announcement, and they dropped a trailer for a game called Star Wars Eclipse. I would love to play it on this stream, but we don't want to get a copyright breach. But guys, 100% after the show, go and check that out. It is like one of the most amazing cinematic video game sequences I've seen. Like, I really loved Knights of the Old Republic, that opening scene where a bounty hunter's getting into the shaft, and then all the Sith come out. There's a bunch of Sith and they're fighting and everything. But this one, there's like beating of drums, and the scenes kind of go to the beating of the drums and everything. And it's phenomenal. I'm more excited about that than the Book of Boba Fett. So
trailers in the comments. Don't stop to watch our show to watch the trailer. You watch it afterwards, but it's there in case you guys want to watch it. It's definitely worth watching. No, and the other big movie news would be I think they've confirmed. I think the next Mandalorian. I think they've confirmed that it's into development now. Did you hear something about that, or is that still?
So
rumors?
It starts shooting in February because with the good thing about Tamora Robertson is that he gets to play in every single series. The bad one is that is the face of every single clone, so he needs to be available for every single series. So they had to finish the Book of Boba before that was filming. But supposedly, and man, like, if anyone knows me, I'm a massive Mace Windu fan. But supposedly he makes an appearance in the end of Mando season 3 and then into Ahsoka. So I am like super excited to see Samuel L. Jackson back as Mace Windu. So
he'll be really old. What did he like? He'll be
yeah. So he's supposed to be like really so. Look, I'm just hypothetical. Don't take it. But supposedly he's like really battle worn. So he's lost his arm. He's gone like old school cybernetic rather than like Luke's type one. Is what they're saying. But also he's very bitter. So if people don't know, a purple lightsaber is the closest color to red. So he already has a small affinity with the dark side. So I'm in my element here.
I'm listening. I'm soaking this all in.
Supposedly he's been stewing about all of this for such a long time. So it'll be interesting to see, like, everyone I think thinks he's going to come back as a hero, but I wonder if he's going to come back as like maybe a villain that needs to be redeemed. So I don't know. I'm just, and I guess that's probably something I would like to see, which would be a little bit different rather than just throwing him in and him being an awesome Jedi again. So yeah, I'm super excited with all the stuff that's coming out with Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader again, Obi-Wan again. Like, I think, it's
what's the
good
news
times
in the movie?
man.
I might as well just ask you, what's the news in the Obi-Wan movie or the Obi-Wan? Is it a series or movie that they're planning?
6 episode series, but an hour to an hour and 20 minutes each episode. So like it's almost like a 8 to 10 hour like story type of thing. So
like a WandaVision Hawkeye type thing.
Yeah. So supposedly it starts on Tatooine, but he has to go off world to do whatever the storyline is, and then from there bumps into Darth Vader. There's supposed to be like something like a 20 or 30 minute fight sequence. Lightsaber fight sequence, which just looks phenomenal. Like just the watching Obi-Wan Ewan McGregor train in the shorts that they were showing on Disney Day the other day just looked amazing. Like, he's got sweat dripping down. He's like swinging it around, and yeah, so I'm super excited. And then they've got the Bad Batch season 2 coming out. Andor's another one that's coming out, which is supposed to be like a spy type of one, and then the Acolyte and so on and so forth. So yeah.
I'm really, really glad they're actually tapping into the expanded universe because there is so much good wealth of stories, and um, I know they've changed a few things in the sequel trilogy that they can't take back. Like I think the original expanded universe, I think Leia had twins, if I remember right, as well.
Correct. Yep.
So they've changed quite a few things. So again, it's a bit of a mishmash now, but there's so much to be mined on there, and I think that's where Disney did right by Marvel in terms of taking the story, like the latest Spider-Man. That's One More Day, if you remember. That's uh, nearly everything basically that they bring forward in a Disney movie is a comic book plotline. Like the latest Hawkeye is by
Okay.
Matt
Yeah.
Fraction. I've read that series with Pizza Dog. It's fantastic, and the him losing his hearing and all that. I think it's I love it. Actually, I think I've seen the first 4 episodes of Hawkeye. They've done a really good job translating the source material into a series. And I'm just thinking with Star Wars, man, I used to read a lot of the there was a lot of the novelizations came afterwards. Like
Yeah.
there was, I can't remember, this one. I can't remember the name of it, but the whole novel was basically how Han proposed to Leia. I
Courtship
can't.
of Princess Leia.
There you go. See, I just to give that little blurb, but I love that book. I read it a long time ago, and there was the Dark Empire series as well, where the Emperor comes back and Luke actually joins the dark side, and he learns a lot about how things work, and how the Emperor had different clones. I thought Dark Empire and Dark Empire 2, in terms of reading from Dark Horse, I thought they were fantastic because they
Yeah.
kept totally really similar.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the sequel trilogies are pretty much not liked amongst the hardcore Star Wars fans. There's the odd people and everything, but like the prequel ones, they're here to stay. So you now need to kind of get used to how that story was told and what they can do from here. But supposedly, the Rise of Skywalker, they'd filmed so much extra stuff that was not shown in that film that they're going back and doing a 4-hour cut and actually going to change the ending of that film.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's going to be quite interesting to see that, because they pretty much, I guess, want that Skywalker legacy to continue on, rather than, spoiler alert, Rey taking on the Skywalker name. So that's going to be very interesting in how they do that. But Dave Filoni, like, he's a fan, and same with Kevin. They're such fans, and they know so much about the expanded universe that I feel like when they start reintroducing stuff, that it's going to be done in a really thoughtful way around it. Like, where I think where Disney just kind of went, well, we want to start new, we want to start fresh, and kind of didn't think, oh, well, maybe we should kind of pay a little bit more attention to the 45 years of or 30 years of material that's been out beforehand. But yeah.
But in terms of the characters from the sequel trilogy, and I will give credit when credit's due, they were actually, look, they were badly handled, badly script written, and all the rest of it. But in terms of characters, they were actually very interesting characters that you could have built this amazing plot points over. Like, again, let's talk Finn first. He's an ex-stormtrooper who's overcome brainwashing. You've got that whole, he may have done horrible things, but you don't know his backstory. You've got that whole entire plot line that was basically just ditched. And you got that whole, it's like, you got the whole ex-stormtrooper needing redemption plot line that you just went, second movie, stuff it. We'll go to the casino and have fun. Yeah.
The worst thing about that is they destroyed that straight away by saying that he was a janitor.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? You got a stormtrooper that, as you said, like, you know, that whole redemption arc, you know, and then, you know, later you find out he's got an affinity to the Force. I love that. And you look at other characters like Wedge Antilles. He actually learned to fly and everything, and flew for the Empire and everything, then become disgruntled and left and joined the rebellion. So that storyline is 100% there. But then to make him a janitor, I just kind of was like,
I know.
you know, you just, yeah, there was just little things like that where I was like, oh, they really dropped the ball in that regard, in the storytelling. And you know, I love JJ Abrams. He's such a great storyteller, but I really feel like everyone that did the sequel trilogy really felt the pressure of Star Wars, where Dave and Kevin, I think, have, you know, been around film and real big budget films for you know, well, Dave, I mean Kevin, for Kevin around big budget films, and David within the Star Wars universe, that you know, they felt comfortable being able to do like the Mandalorian and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh no, I agree with you. And so the whole point was, I say, in the first of the sequel trilogy, they introduced all these characters. They dropped all these fantastic plot points. All these seeds were dropped, like who's Snoke? You know, is he had anything to do with the Emperor? What's his linkage? What's, you know, everything was dropped and opened up. You know, it's like, what's going to happen? Again, Finn's probably the classic one because he's one of the main characters. But even you take Snoke, he second movie, let's just slice him in half without any you know what I mean? You've introduced this mysterious character, and to have no payoff. My absolute worst one, and the one that really bugs me, is Rey. I think as a character, and she's the central focus for all three movies, she's probably easily the one that you could have the most fun with, the one that you could actually develop. Half the time it's just plot points, and that's probably the worst part about Rey, that everything was just a plot point. Okay, we give a little bit of backstory, but that's the plot point to that part. A little bit of backstory, that's the plot point to the other one. There was the character development was basically just to service the plot, and you never felt for her that way. Then
It was the she even had come out and said that the whole issue around that was that they didn't actually sit down and go, this was her backstory, this is who she is, this is where she came from. So when it got to the third movie, like she said, there's like, she goes, there's like 6 or 7 different endings in regards to, yes, she was a Skywalker, no, she wasn't a Skywalker, yes, she was a Palpatine, no, she wasn't a Palpatine. She's like, even she goes towards the end, she goes, I didn't even know who I was. And I've gone, that can't be good for an actress or an actor to kind of portray someone when they don't even know kind of where their story is going.
Yep. And for example, you hit the nail right on the head. If they actually told her that she was part Palpatine, she could have that little bit of nastiness to her, that little bit of, you know what, you push me, I'm really cool most of the time, but that edge to her, that you could get that every once in a while, you get that glimpse of her that she's not right, totally right in the head. You know what I mean?
Especially in Jakku, when he's like the water rations, and he goes to give her some and then takes some back. Like, you could then have had that where she, like, you know, starts to kind of
the
get
anger
eyes or something, or the anger or something like that, and scares the shit out of the guy. It's like, oh no, okay, you can take that. But yeah. I know.
I would say, and jumping fandoms for a little bit, Harry Potter, and that's one case where. So when the Harry Potter movies were still filming through, and now we're jumping fandoms a little bit, and I want to spoil Harry Potter in case you guys have seen it, but J.K. Rowling told Alan Rickman, who was Snape, the ending to what his character was when they started filming the first movie. So he knew his entire character arc. So when the twist came in 6 and 7 of who he was and how everything links up, when you look back to the other movies, you can see why he hates Harry Potter, but yet keeps protecting him. And it actually, when you look back, it all makes sense. But for someone like Daisy, who doesn't know where Rey's heading to, and actually having that totally in flux always changing to her, I got a feel for her, because it was a badly written character that she really couldn't do much with. It's like Hayden Christensen is an amazing actor. He's absolutely amazing. But in the prequel trilogies, he never really got to show it, I'd say. Like, in terms of his whole range, look, if they'd given him better scenes, better emotions, oh man, the guy can act.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite movie with him in it is called Takers. And it's a heist movie. But yeah, we'll leave that for another time and do a review on that. Have you seen that before?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay, well, I'll do that. I'll do that for another episode. But it's called Takers. It's got Chris Brown in it, Iris Elba. Who else? Who's the other actor? There's another African American actor. And then it's got Hayden Christensen. So, but it's really good, and everyone kind of gives Hayden a raw deal. Isaac has just literally said got a raw deal with Star Wars. But yeah, that really can show what he could have done, type of thing. But yeah,
look, you can't do much with I hate sand. Sand is coarse. you can't. I don't care how good an actor you are. There's not much you can do with those lines.
Yeah.
Okay, look, we have 18 minutes to go. We've covered the movie and went tangentially quite a bit. You mentioned there's a couple of things you wanted to cover.
Yeah, well, I wanted to, and I'm just going to bring up the image, but yeah, I want to just kind of talk about what we've kind of done over the last 12 to 24 months in regards to not only our Kickstarters, but everything that we've kind of created, and kind of like really give ourselves a little bit of a pat on the back in regards to all the work that we've done, type of thing. So this is an image that I use on all of our Kickstarters and everything to highlight, how many projects that the Comics to Movies has done and has done successfully. But like over the last, and I'm going to highlight it here, but over the last 2 years, we've done volume 2 of Terra Olympus. We've done Fractured World of XCT. We've done a new series, Talos of Sparta. We've done the crossover of XCT Infinity. We've just about to send out all the hard copies of Fractured Shards. I should have them either tomorrow or Tuesday, which I'm super excited about. We've released the first issue of the 13th Labor. You've just sent out all the rewards for Terra Olympus Volume 3. And then we've also done XCT Monsters with, Fractured Shards Volume 2 to launch next week. So I just want to kind of, just stop for a second and kind of really, take in like how much we've kind of done over this period, but also to thank everyone that kind of watches this show. A lot of the people that watch this show have supported both of our creative endeavors in regards to our Kickstarters and series and this show and everything, and just how far Comics to Movies itself has come in the last 24 months. When we started this show, we kind of didn't know really what we were kind of doing with it. I was trying to convince you to put your face out there a little bit more and everything, and to kind of be, just under 18 months later at 50 episodes, having, you know, Dan on several live streams with us, having all the amazing Australian guests we've had, you know, people from libraries, we've had people from, you know, comic book stores, we've had actors, you know, we've had writers, we've had you know, other creators, and you know, it's been such a great learning experience for me, but also a really great growing experience for me. And I kind of just want to acknowledge that. I think it's been a really tough 2 years for a lot of people. And, you know, I think being grateful and highlighting, you know, the support that we receive and how we've received that over the last couple of years is really important. So I just want to take this time to kind of say thank you to everyone. Thank you for being a part of this journey. We look forward to what's to come. We thought the last 24 months was big, but I can tell you 2022 is going to be one crazy year. But I'm 100% looking forward to it and can't wait to kind of bring you guys all on for the ride. So
The other thing, and we are getting better at quite a few things as well. And so one of the things that, again, this is basically me and Shaun talking in the background, is really to try to up a lot of our production rates. Because using Terra Olympus as an example, there was a 2-year gap between Volume 1 and Volume 2, but only a 1-year gap between 2 and 3. So if we're trying to do it like it to be almost a yearly basis, we are getting better at, you know, keeping everybody accountable, getting stuff through. We're going to share the Fractured Shard trailer towards the end, but number 2 is coming out, and number 2 is almost coming out on the anniversary of number 1, which is fantastic. But what we would like to do as well is to start getting it out every 6 months. But we understand that the main story may take some time to come out on a yearly basis, and we don't want people to always have to invest in every single Fractured Shards that's come out. So what Dan and Shaun and myself are actually working on is to try to have something every 6 months, even if it's something set in that universe that it's not part of the main plot line, but it will definitely add to the main plot line. So I think that's a lot of fun, and it also gives you guys a chance to, instead of waiting year in for one whole year for your Fractured Shards fix, it's now every 6 months, because we're trying to ramp up production a little bit more that way. It still takes time, and we always try to make sure that it does look good, you know, everything's done properly, but it's actually a very exciting time. And these are all the things that 2022, hopefully everything comes and clicks into place.
Yeah, and I think even with Volume 2, like I was saying to you and Dan the other day, that like we're literally down to the last 10 pages of actually Volume 2, of completing Volume 2. So before we've even thought about going to Kickstarter, we've done so much more of the book. You know, the last thing, you know, I think, you know, we're learning all the time. And even though, you know, I showed that image of all the Kickstarters that I've done, you know, there's always something to take out of a campaign, and kind of the delay that we've had with Fractured Shards is kind of really highlighted to us that, you know, we need to make sure that we have the ability to deliver when we say we're going to deliver. And, you know, all you guys have been amazing and really patient and really supportive. And, you know, Mandeep made a really good comment. This was something I was going to talk to as well. You know, Mandeep says, Fractured Shards campaign showed me how fan contributing to a Kickstarter can be. And I was surprised with that. I guess, you know, I've done a Kickstarter, you know, I do the updates, and you know, do the social media shares and everything like that. But Dan was so involved with this project, and the ability to do live streams, to be really interactive with you guys, and then really build a community around this project, rather than just just getting money for the projects. Like, we really built a community around that. Has been something that's just absolutely blown me away. And the people that, like Grace, that just drop me a note every now and again, or make a comment on Facebook and that of support is really amazing to kind of have. So, and the reason why, again, we're launching it during this time is that, if people don't know, Dan is on Days of Our Lives, but we have him from about 3 weeks before he has to go back to work. So we will try and jam in as many live streams and updates and all that type of stuff. And again, we're going to do the live stream 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the US, 3 p.m. for us here in Australia on Friday, 8 p.m. the night before on Thursday. And I do believe for Mandeep and Moira, it's about 4 a.m. in the UK. So I do apologize about that, guys. But it's going to be absolutely amazing to kind of go through this whole process again with that same community type of thing.
I have to say, though, in fact, Shards, it had one reward here which I absolutely loved, because I actually got to see it come true. And some of them I shared with some other people, but I absolutely loved it. It was the reward where you could choose a sketch to be done, but you could choose how you wanted to interact with the Sebastian, the character from Fractured Shards. And I loved it, because when we were trying to organize that with the artists, it was really cool. Like, I want to pop iron with with Sebastian. Sure. I want to be a bartender with Sebastian. Whatever makes you happy. I thought that was really, really fun. And some of them I have sent out to different people. They loved it, because I think that was probably that's almost as fun as the drawn-in reward. That's still my favorite, but I think this one's a close second. I think that was a really fantastic reward.
Yeah, well, I actually, the other day, because we're getting prepared and doing all of the images for the second campaign, I actually scanned one. So I absolutely love this. So this is one of the backers that wanted to have the personalized sketch with Dan. And I was going through them all the other day, and I'm like, damn, these are just absolutely amazing. It's such a cool, unique reward to like, have it with the actual character and then Dan himself type of thing. So but again, he's said that he's going to make himself available. We're going to do some of the rewards will include one-on-ones with him, group sessions, and all of that type of stuff. So it's going to be really, really cool.
I heard, look, and I didn't attend those ones, but I heard that it was a lot of fun. So did you enjoy those sessions with Dan? I think it was the group sessions with him.
Mate, everyone kicked me out. They were like, "Okay, we don't need you, Sean. We can do this." So, no, it was kind of cool. I tell you what, I sat in the background, and it was really fun to see not only people asking about Dan and his acting and all that, but like, Dan is such a genuine guy that half the conversation is him asking them questions and him wanting to get to know them. And I think that's another amazing part of building a community, is that it needs to be two ways. It can't be just one way, you asking for something. And that's why I've really enjoyed doing this this live stream every Sunday night, because it's our little bit of kind of giving back, or being able to interact directly with our fans and friends and all that type of stuff. And it's funny because people that I would start to say are fans, I would almost consider more friends now than fans, because you have such a connection through, this project and other projects as well. So
Look, we've got like, hi, Brand. Thank you so much. Do we want to share the last the trailer that for Fractured Shards 2, because it's coming out next week? So we'll share the trailer. We've got 5 minutes to go, so let's not miss out on that one.
let me do that. Did we show it last week? No.
We can show it again. I love it so much.
We can show it again. I can't even remember. It's been that long since.
This week has been a long week.
It has. It feels like it's been a massive week. So, and I do feel bad because I've absolutely put Nathan under the pump in regards to doing the next video. I'm like, oh man, we're launching this week, and he's like, yeah, didn't you say you were going to get that stuff to me? Last week. I'm like, I did. As always, he's going to come through. But here you go, everyone. Here is a look. This is the teaser trailer for Fractured Shards 2.
Heard you work in the Dark case.
What can you find? How can I destroy him?
Access granted.
I spy with my little eye.
Things are going down in this episode.
I really like it. Oh, look, I know we've got a couple of minutes left. And look, my main thing will always be, look, we're really, really appreciative of you guys coming in every week. And thank you so much for basically hearing us rant about movies and talking to different creators. If there's anything you guys specifically want to hear for 2022, you guys know how to reach us. Please Facebook or drop a comment on. We'll be more than happy to bring anything up. Just let us know what you guys want to hear, and we'll do our best to accommodate you. And again, thank you so much for all your support. It really makes this all possible. Without your support, we wouldn't be here.
And thank you to everyone that did a video. Like, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do a quick video for us and send that through. So, we just want you guys to know that we're really appreciative. I do that to my little girl all the time, love. So, we love you guys, and we really appreciate your support. But I feel like this was all about me, this 50th episode. I get to pick the movie I spoke the most with.
It was Star Wars.
I even wore my Darth Maul hat. So but yeah, no, it's been an amazing 50 episodes, and I'm really looking forward to more and bringing in 2022 with an absolute bang. So thanks again, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We go live at 10 p.m. each Sunday night. Hit that notify button so you know when we go live, and we will see you all next week.